All right. How you doing? It is the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show. A lot going on in a short time to get it done. It is the Super Bowl weekend. It is Texas Southern Prairie View weekend, and so many things going on throughout the world of HBCU. We are going to have to get things running and fast on the ground. So let us, without further ado, begin today's episode. Hello once again, reminding you that you can follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy. Instagram is Radio Guy 22. The website is obn-radio.com. As you got our flash on yesterday, reports have been coming out from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, that the athletic director, Alonzo Harding, has been relieved of his duties. As we dug a little bit deeper to try to get down to the bottom of things, there was some conflicting reports coming from the Golden Lions camp. When we did our little research, some said that it was not actually the case just yet. But then when you get things on the ticker, as you get somewhere, somehow, something's not lining up. We're going to keep an ear to the ground as that story develops and unfolds. But as it has been reported, Alonzo Harding is no longer going to retain the duty and services of athletic director at University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. With that being said, the SWAC must continue to move forward as we get ready for the recruiting signing day on February the 7th, which will be National Signing Day throughout. They're going to have a signing day program for Prairie View A&M University Panthers down in Houston, Texas at the Prairie View Nursing Center. And you can go and visit Prairie View's website for all the information on that. However, we will give you an in-depth breakdown of the signees of the 2018 and others throughout the conference as we try to develop that. We have on the horizon to hear from Coach Mike London in the MEAC and the Bison of Howard, as he'll break down his recruiting class. And of course, we'll try to give you all that we can throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference. A whole lot on the line right now as the teams will get their new identities, much needed areas in particular for the Panthers on the defensive side. Cannot wait to see and hear how it all unfolds. We've been having some names floating around, but I want to be a little responsible on my reporting and not allow things to get out of hand, if you would, in letting the teams have the privilege, if you allow me to say it that way, of introducing their squads. But I give you this: you cannot miss Wednesday's show of next week. You cannot miss Wednesday's show of next week. I'm going to reveal a couple of little things that will be a surprise to some and not such a surprise to others about Panthers football. But you got to hold on to Wednesday of next week. I promise you, I'll let it go. Been holding on to some things because we try to respect the space and the timing of everything. But I guarantee you, it'll be worth the price of admission. Speaking of the price of admission, huge weekend for Panthers basketball program, as the Panthers will be hosting Texas Southern to officially kick off the second half of the basketball season. Men and women. The game will take place at 3 p.m. on Saturday. That's when the women tip off. Men will follow 30 minutes at the conclusion of the women's game. And this is going to be a measuring stick for both the men and the women's program. In particular, for the men's program, Coach Byron Smith and the Panthers will come into this game 5-4, one game behind Texas Southern, who's at 6-3. Now, many people have been up in arms that Texas Southern has had some somewhat struggles out the gate, but one of their key players, has had some issues, we'll say mildly, and kind of thrown a little monkey in the wrench. But Mike Davis, being the battler and the competitor that he is, I'm pretty sure that he's going to get the Tigers back on track, and it's going to start off on Saturday. But Coach Byron Smith and the Panthers are in a prime position to even the score, if you would. They lost earlier in Houston to start the season off, came back from a 29-point deficit to make it somewhat competitive, losing 100 to 96, or 100 to 94, I'm sorry. And the Panthers are looking to get out early and make the most of every opportunity. It's going to be blackout weekend, so come in with your black on and ready to get your cheering on for the Panthers and Texas Southern this coming weekend. So much going on in a very short time. The Invitational Bowling Tournament for the NCAA and the Southwestern Athletic Conference will be this weekend as well in Arlington, Texas. Coach Glenn White of the Lady Panthers will be hosting the 12-team tournament. It's going to be a huge, huge weekend in Arlington, Texas. Panthers looking to come out from the fire with all the heavy competition that will be coming from the bowling champions throughout the nation. And as we may mention, baseball and softball season is upon us right now. We're going to have a breakdown of the Southwestern Athletic Conference predictions. They actually send out the predictions and all team pre-selections this past weekend. I can tell you right now, Texas Southern is expected to win from the West. Alabama State was picked to win from the East, and Texas Southern picked to win from the West. Prairie View is picked to finish third out of the West, and we'll see how all of this will unfold. We'll be trying to trap down some of the baseball coaches, but we'll also talk to the leading coach amongst the SWAC as far as representation and rules committee, Coach Carlos James of Arkansas Pine Bluff. We'll have him scheduled for some time next week. We've had a lot of scheduling coming in and a whole lot more to get done. Don't forget the breakdown of the recruits that will be coming on board, in particular to those of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. There's a lot going on in the local high school area as UIL has done their 2-year realignments, and it is quite interesting. We'll break down into that later next week as the local schools impacted and our early projections of how each school that we cover will be affected. Speaking of being affected, Super Bowl weekend has come upon us, and I truly do not have a dog in this hunt. However, I must do my civic duties and make my pick. And my pick is going to be simple, condensed, straight to the point. There is no way that you could go against New England Patriots and what all they've accomplished for the last decade. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, a.k.a. the Hoodie, and that organization has had the Midas touch. Some disagree with how they get it done, but they have gotten it done. With that being said, I like the eye of the tiger that I see in the Philadelphia Eagles. And with that being said, I am going to take the Eagles and the 5-point spread. Not that I'm going to bet or anything, just they're going to give them to me. Why not take them? I believe the Eagles would win flat out, but I'll have a little cushion with the 5-point spread. So with that being said, I am going to say that the Philadelphia Eagles will be Super Bowl 52 champions this coming weekend. How they're going to get it done will remain to be seen. I'm hoping that it is a competitive, entertaining football game, because that's what it's really all about. Don't forget, Prairie View, Texas Southern this coming weekend. Huge, huge weekend. Come out early. Come out and support. Signing day next week. A lot more football coverage next week. But right now, I got to exit stage left, reminding you to follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy, Instagram, Radio Guy 22. And don't forget the Open Mic Broadcast Network on YouTube and Facebook. Until the next time, you be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.